Jamie from Inky and Scrappy. I am new to Crescent Creations design team. It is a pleasure to be here with you today. I hope you enjoy my creative style and my video process. I am starting with Lawn Fawn's Deck the Car Die and the Pumpkin Wagon, and I'm doing something a little bit different with them, and I'm bringing in Crescent Creations Holiday Glitter Stack, their green cardstock, some black shiny cardstock, their white shiny cardstock, or gloss cardstock, sorry, and then some gold and silver glitter cardstock as well. So I started by die cutting out a whole bunch of pieces in a whole bunch of different colors. So I'm using that green glitter stock and the green cardstock for my trees there, the red glitter for my car and my wagon, and then that black gloss piece is going to be the outline for my wagon and my car. So when I first saw the Deck the Car die, I was kind of not thinking about getting it. As with the wagon one, I was like, I really don't need a pumpkin wagon. Well, of course, my farm girl brain said, hello, wagon, you can put anything in a wagon. Like, think about this one, girl. So I decided I needed to have the wagon. Well, to me, that wagon could be pulled by a truck pretty easily. It could also be pulled by the car, but I wanted a truck. So my little farm girl heart decided I could switch that car into a truck pretty easily. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to make a Santa. Santa is going to be driving his truck, pulling a wagon full of gifts. So this is my first creation with this set, so I hope you enjoy my process. I can't say it was, it was a little bit of a learning process, but it's basically just piecing together the die cut pieces, which to me, I usually color, and so when I do an all die cut style card, it's kind of a nice break to get away from the coloring, because coloring takes me a long time. I do enjoy it, it's just time consuming. I will say I probably should have put a piece of scrap text paper underneath the glitter when I ran it through my die cut machine. My die cut machine I have a Vagabond too. It's well loved. We'll put it that way, and my plates are well loved. So if I would have put that extra piece of text cardstock or text thickness copy paper underneath, it probably would have clean cut a little bit better. It cut clean on most of it. It was just, I have a few weak spots I've noticed. So to make my car a truck, I'm just taking that pop-out piece from the wagon's handle, and I just cut two little pieces, and then I'm just going to extend that window frame border up and then out the back. So this way I can just come in with the scissors and snip straight there and straight there, and then it will turn my car into a truck that still has that nice thin gloss black border all the way around it. And that top one is going to get covered up anyways by the tree. It might have been strategically placed there. And then I will continue to build, or shall I say, fill in my die cut pieces here as I can locate them on my desktop. Yeah, my desk looks like my brain. It's kind of busy and full of stuff. So to make my wagon into an actual trailer, I just made sure to snip off that handle there. And then of course, because Santa is going to have a glitzed out trailer, everything is chromed. Yep, that's how we're going to roll. I could have gone with just the red cardstock there, but of course we needed to be extra because Santa is extra. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want the rest of my layout to be. And then realizing that I can probably just pop that tree up over the truck there so you don't see it. I'm thinking the truck is like one of those 1950 models, the ones that are kind of a little bit more rounded on the cab and such. So it's not a huge one. It's just, it's not an F350. It's just a smaller F100 style truck. And so then for my trees, I'm going to do some glitter inlay so that the green on the top there, or for my outline, and then some glitter cardstock to fill in my Christmas tree. And then I didn't worry about the stump on this one because the stump or the base there is actually going to be tucked behind the truck. So I didn't need to pull in a brown for it. And then I will add that to my truck right away so it can dry. I did use liquid adhesive on this because with glitter cardstock or glitter stock, tape runner doesn't always stick the greatest. So glitter is usually, or glue is usually the best option when it comes to glitter. I use glitter art glue. It, you know, after that it dries, it's there for good. So I decided I needed Santa in the truck. Now, if you're going to recreate this one, you might want to do this part before you add, you know, everything onto that base piece. Because I probably could have just tucked him in on there before I'd added the red and it would have worked. But I didn't. So I took the car die and then I'm just going to die cut out that little area. And I actually took Santa from my stash of Christmas created pieces from last year. So Santa comes from the Tiny Christmas set. And I was thinking about doing an acetate window. And so that's why I put Santa in the back window. I just needed the line on the bottom to cut him off. I didn't actually need the front window for that. So I just made sure to line him up in a way that his hat was not going to get cut off in the die cut machine. And then I put that acetate over the front window because that was the one that I really needed to have over the front window. But as I was like, I need glossy accents to add that acetate piece onto my front window, I was like, I could just use glossy accents as my window and not use the acetate piece. I don't know if it saved me time, but I just figured it was probably going to be a more seamless look than me trying to add that acetate and get it to have a clear, even coat of glossy accents underneath it so it would stay and not, you know, it's however you wanted to do your window piece there. I also could have just cut a bigger piece underneath if I'd have thought that one through before I added it to the base of the truck. So as I pick up the pace on the video here to put together all of these gifts, I will give you a brief introduction to me. I am Jaime from Inky and Scrappy here on YouTube and inkyandscrappy.com in Blogland. I used to run Crafty Creations Challenge blog, so I give Neha a lot of credit for running a business, having a family, and trying to manage a design team. We're a lot of work, design team members. I've been creative and crafty my whole life, and I love it all. So paper crafts, I love to paint, I love woodworking, I love it all. I do a little bit of everything. So I don't usually include most of that on YouTube because I'm really only set up for filming over my papercraft desk. I live in Minnesota with my husband and 2 teenage sons. We dairy farm with my husband's parents and brother's family, and so I do include a little bit of our farm shenanigans in my videos, so be warned. I have a dog, 5 chickens, a whole herd of cats, and then of course we have the rest of the farm animals and such. I love being outdoors. The outdoors do not love me. I'm allergic to everything. And I'm also very accident prone. My kids think I'm the one that needs to be in bubble wrap. I'm their mom. They're supposed to be in bubble wrap, not me. They're also probably not wrong. They've known me their whole lives. Yeah. So that's enough about me. Let's get back to the card. So I'm going to do my sky for my base here on a Slimline base that's 8.5 by 3.5, and I'm just coming in with that tumbled glass and kind of filling in my top. I might have gone a little heavier than I had originally planned. I thought I was going to leave it a little more white and airy, but I was a little heavy-handed. And then I'm going to bring in the Distress Mica spray stain in Snow Flurries, I think. You know, it has all that shine and shimmer. And then I will spray that with a spritz of water and let that dry naturally, so it kind of gives that speckly, distressed ink, snowy sky vibe. It gives it some added visual interest. I took that Slimline Hill stitched border die from Lawn Fawn and cut the gloss white cardstock from Crescent Creation and that gloss black cardstock. And then I also used that mountain border die. I know it's not a slimline. I will show you how I modified it or cut it out so it could fit on my slimline card base seamlessly. And then for this one, I decided I needed to add just a little bit of distress ink on the bottom. It was too flat for me, and I wanted a little bit of depth and dimension to it to kind of show that it was further away. So I'm just going to add some distress ink and black soot to the bottom, and then I'm going to take that silver glitter cardstock and add that as my mountain caps. So here is where I just butt up my border over the other, and I just cut it again. And then by adding the little snow peak on there, you can't even tell that there was a little bit of a variation there, but by adding that snow peak on top, you can't even see it anymore. So it's how you stretch those dies out a little bit more. So I will clean my work surface with some rubbing alcohol there, it dries really fast and it helps get some of that adhesive off. So I will add that to my card base, and then I'm going to pop up my snow hill and my road. So the black gloss cardstock I used for my road here. I used that same slimline border die for the black as I did the white, and then I just made sure that I didn't have as much real estate, I guess, on my black paper when I die cut it, so it was hanging off the edge, knowing that I wanted about a 3/4 inch border, and that's how I got my road. I did try to do the other road, but that one was like curvy, and it just, size-wise, it didn't make sense with the truck and trailer. So I just really needed a little bit of black top to put my truck and trailer on. But I guess it's Santa's truck and trailer. It probably could have been flying through the sky and it would have been fine because it was magical, right? Afterthoughts. That's all I gotta say. So I do go and pop up the gifts and then the top of the truck and the tree here, so they are the same level as that snowy hill and road. And then using just some liquid adhesive to adhere that to the front of my card base. I will say that I probably shouldn't have used liquid adhesive with that black top piece. You could kind of see it through. I don't think you can see it through so much now that the liquid adhesive is dried, so maybe just a drier adhesive for that one. And it was probably because I put it on that gloss white cardstock, so there was nowhere for that liquid adhesive to go. So I would just use a dry adhesive next time for that expansive space, because I didn't notice it at all on my truck wheels or tires or anything like that. So that's my guess on that one. Just a word to the wise. So to finish my scene up, I felt it needed a little something. So I took out that envelope that I had all of my die cut pieces in. Neha sells them. I think they were meant for like slimline die storage. I will be using them to store all of my extra die cut pieces and colored pieces, because space wise they're a whole lot better than my current system of photo containers. So I took out those trees that I had die cut earlier, and I just left them as plain trees. They're not Christmas trees, they're just plain trees. Christmas trees are glittery. And then I needed to cut out a few more, and before I added the ones that I cut out, I figured I better get my sentiment on here before I get too far. Ha ha, I'm almost done with the card before I get too far. I'm an avid sentiment adder after the fact kind of girl. Thankful for my stamping platform, and it did actually come out perfect the first time, using that VersaFine Onyx black ink. And then I will add in my 2 trees to the other side. So symmetrical, but not really, because they're not exactly the same. And yes, I can't cut angles if I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Yeah, the one tree got a little shorter than had been planned, but it's fine. It works just fine. So I will pop that tree on, and then I will pop the other tree on behind it. So then it brings your eye in to that extra glittery, shiny truck and trailer. And then I will snip off the little bits that are hanging over the edge here. And then, of course, we're not done without some Christmas balls on our tree. So I'm bringing in that Merry Christmas clay bits mix from Crescent Creations, and then I'm just going to pick out the little red balls. I'm pretty sure they're berries for the holly that's included in that mix, but I thought they would make some cute ornaments for on my Christmas tree. And as I decorate my tree in real life, I'm just as haphazard and, there looks good, there looks good. Oh, look, I have a hole there I need to fill. Yeah. I had no rhyme or reason for adding my ornaments on my tree. Usually I'm definitely more of a 3 visual triangle embellishment adder. Yeah. See, there was me counting and going, I don't have the right number. I'm adding some more. So once I had a fully decorated Christmas tree, I wasn't done yet. I needed some more glitter. I mean, we've already glittered everything else. Why not a little bit more? So I'm adding some distress sickles in, I don't think they're distress sickles, they're just sickles in frosted lace. So when it dries, it kind of has this white look to it. So there is my finished creation. Make sure to go check out Crescent Creation, as they have lots of Lawn Fawn in stock and those clay bit mixes for shakers and glitter cardstock. I found them to be fun to play with. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for joining me. Over and out. Keep getting inky.